The Common Core is a set of education standards for K through 12 public schools, adopted by Wisconsin back in 2010. Now, the standards apply to math and language arts.
Now, some are questioning whether it's a good change for public schools. A joint Wisconsin Senate and Assembly Education Committee held a hearing in Madison on Thursday to look into the Common Core standards. Educators from across the state came to be a part of it.
One of the concerns is that it's a federal program taking away local control to determine how our kids are taught. But Wisconsin education officials say the Common Core was a collaborative effort between education experts in the nation at the request of governors from across the country, not a federally mandated curriculum.
Another major concern is that the standards are not rigorous enough, a suggestion State Superintendent of Education Tony Evers says is ridiculous.
The standards have been evaluated by academics across this country that have viewed it as equal to any of the other countries that are scoring high.
Conservative Tea Party members sent a letter to lawmakers earlier this year asking for an investigation. It's part of what led to yesterday's hearing.
While the state superintendent defends the rigor of the new standards, so do some of our local school districts.
News 8's Carrie Vick joins us now with a closer look at the challenge of adopting a new way of learning.
The Onalaska School District started implementing the new standards last year, and while there is still plenty of work to be done to make the adjustment, teachers and students are over the major learning curve. But Toma is using the new teaching style for math and language arts for the first time this year. Talk with parents and school officials, and you'll quickly learn these standards are not only challenging, but completely changing how students learn.
This is an interesting one that we never saw last year, interpreted in words. Find the slope and interpret it in words.
Dawn Schrader is spending hours trying to help her 7th grade son Jacob adjust to the new way math is taught in the Toma School District to meet the Common Core standards.
We spend a couple hours every night doing math. Math has been especially difficult, having to explain our answers, which we never had to do before. We have a whole new curriculum, that we have to adjust to.
Toma School District Superintendent Cindy Zarty says teachers are using the new standards for the first time this year. She says while there's frustration among teachers and students, it's evidence that these standards in math and language arts are an improvement from the old Wisconsin education standards.
It's a higher level of expectation for our students, so it requires teachers to teach differently. It requires us to be utilizing new curriculum that we've developed, different teaching resources. And so whenever you have a lot of new things coming together like that, there's a very high learning curve and it tends to be stressful.
The Onalaska School District rolled out the new standards last year. Superintendent Dr. Fran Finko says while it was a difficult transition, this year teachers are much more comfortable with the new teaching style.
The Common Core doesn't ask you to give the answer. The Common Core asks you to explain how you know that this is the right answer. So it's a higher level of understanding. It can't be just memorization, regurgitation. Now it's demonstration.
And while Schrader says in the long run the new standards could be helpful, she worries about students like her son trying to adjust so quickly to a new way of learning.
I think that being a problem solver is a good quality to have. How you got to an answer is a good thing to know. I think unfortunately the downfall of it is that it's not in the short term going to be good for their self-esteem.
Schrader says her son Jacob isn't having trouble with the new language arts standards. She says one of the main reasons math is so difficult is because he's having to instantly change a style of learning he's developed and used for 7 years already.
Thanks a lot, Carrie. And while the Common Core standards for math and language arts are the same for the entire state, each school district does have the freedom to develop their curriculum to achieve those goals however they want to. Every school district in the state of Wisconsin is required to have Common Core standards this year.